Good morning, BookTube, YouTube. This is Johnny. I thought I would do a video this morning. I got another clock here on the fireplace mantle. It is 10:28 here in the morning, and I can't remember what day it is now. I think it's March the 25th, 2020. See, I don't have my regular clock with me. I have this clock that's on our fireplace mantle. So where I'm sitting at this is the easy chair that I sit in. It's my easy chair. My wife's easy chair is over there. And this is where I have an old coffee table, like from the 1950s, that was in the house when we moved in here about 29 years ago. And on this table is the books that I read during the afternoon and evening hours. I usually sit in the dining room, or I sit here. And sometimes I sit in my main study, but I mainly sit here in this easy chair next to this coffee table, and I read. So I'm just going to show you the books on this table, my to be read pile. Now, I went through this to be read pile a couple of weeks ago. I took down about 30 books, and these are the ones I'm trying to focus on. And some of these I have shown, and some I haven't. I keep my portable CD player here with music, and but I've shown these. I've shown you this one, the I You See With Selected Nonfiction by Robert Stone. These are ones I'm primarily reading right now, but I told you I can't get much into my mind. This is Child of Light, a biography of Robert Stone by Madison, Smartt Bell. So, been reading that. And yesterday I got back into reading this, Before the Storm, Barry Goldwater and the Making of the American Consensus by Rick Bernstein. So I've been reading this again. And I've shown you this book too, the Stammering Century by Gilbert. Seldes. So I've been reading these. I've been reading, and I do read lately. John Barth, The Sot-Weed Factor. So I do. I'll probably read this afternoon. So here's the ones that are on my to-be read pile that I've not read in a couple of weeks, but I still plan to. Well, wait a minute. One thing I wanted to say is that I have mentioned in past videos that I have in my old Dodge van a couple plastic bins of used books that I've gotten at thrift stores or I had copies of in our library, and I carry them around in my van to give away. And since the library has been closed here in Holland, we have just down the street from us, it's called the Free Little Library. They're little, like a mailbox in front of a person's house, and you can put books in there. It's just a block down from where we live. So when my wife goes for a walk, I give her 4 books from the van to put in there, and people have been taking them. But also, you can take books out to read. It's like an exchange. And my wife brought home yesterday this book from me. It's a New York Review, the New York Review book, and it's called Thus Were Their Faces by Silvina Ocampo, and this is translated out of the Spanish by Daniel Balderston. These are stories. So I haven't really gotten into this, but I plan to look at this. So, and I've shown you this book. It's on my to be read pile, The Divine Rascal on the Trail of LSD's Cosmic Courier, Michael Hollingshead by Andy Roberts. So I still read this. It's on my to be read pile. And I was reading this a couple weeks. Last time I was at the Book Nook, all those books came in on book collectors and bibliophiles and on reading. So I've been reading this, Ruined by Reading, A Life in Books by Lynne, Sharon, Schwartz. And I'm still got out The Parisian by Isabella Hammad, a novel. And I was really into this. I read almost half of it, but I haven't read it in a couple of weeks, but it's on my to be read pile. And I wasn't reading The Invented Part. I read The Invented Part. This is the dream part of a trilogy. This is volume 2 by Rodrigo Fresan. A dream part translated from the Spanish by Will Vanderden. I still plan to get in. I still can read this, and I've read almost 290 pages, and it's on my to be read pile. This I have not really gotten into yet. I got this a couple of weeks ago in the mail. It was pre-ordered. The Age of Surveillance, Capitalism, The Fight for a Human Future at the New Frontier of Power by Shoshana Zuboff. So that's on my to be read pile. I haven't even gotten into this at all yet. And then I was reading, this was supposed to be my March Mammoth. I got this last month, From Peoples Unto Nations, A History of Eastern Europe by John Connolly. I want to really get back into this. I was finding it really interesting, and I want to get into this again, so I keep it up here on my to be read pile. Then several months ago, I was reading this, To Hell and Back, Europe 1914 to 1949 by Ian Kershaw. That's on my to be read pile. I was really into this, and then I got sidetracked. And then I have Nixonland, A Rise of a President and the Fracturing of America by Rick Dodgson. This is on my to be read pile. And then I have The Invisible Bridge, The Fall of Nixon, The Rise of Reagan by Rick Dodgson. So these are on my to be read pile. And this is another book I got from that last book haul from the Book Nook, the Library Used Bookstore. Bound to Please, An Extraordinary One-Volume Literary Education by Michael Dira. This is on my to be read pile. And then I was reading this, I was really into this. I'm almost done with this. Blood Orchid, A Natural History of America by Charles Bolden. I really want to get back into this. And then I was reading these essays. I got these last month by Elliot Weinberger, Orange and Peanuts for Sale. These are like essays. And I got his other book of essays, An Elementary Thing by Elliot Weinberger. So these are on my to be read pile. These I can just read anytime. So I keep them here by my chair here. And I was really into Voldman, The Lucky Star by William T. Voldman. I really want to get back into this. That's why it's on my to be read pile. Conversations with William T. Voyle. William T. Voldman, edited by Daniel Lukes. And then William T. Voldman, A Critical Companion, edited by Christopher Kaufman and Daniel Lukes. And then I have this I've shown you is a book I got in the mail last month. This is a little memoir of a writer that lives in Chicago. He's an artist, and he self-published this. You know, he only printed 500 of them, and mine was 429. And I haven't really gotten into this, but it's on my to-be-read pile. And then lastly, the last time I was at the Book Nook, I got these Library of America crime fiction by Ross MacDonald. I got these by Ross, and I keep these on my to-be-read pile because I really want to get into him. So I have these 3 volumes on my to-be-read pile. So yeah, that's what's on my to-be-read pile. That's what I keep by me when I'm sitting here in this easy chair in the living room. And these are the things that I reach over and I read throughout the day or throughout the months. But I'm a slow reader. I don't read fast. I'm still reading, even though it's like people I've mentioned in BookTube, they're kind of distracted, kind of anxious. There's things on their mind. Of course, maybe they're losing their job, they're not working, they're out of their routine. Maybe their kids are at home, their husbands are at home, their wives, their partners. And life just seems to be in kind of a unknown state, and so it's kind of difficult to read. I don't find that. I've always been a reader. Even the most darkest times, the most stressful times in my life, I've been reading or writing in my online diary or my paper diary in the last 20 years, my online diaries. And but when you're reading, you know, you can read like something like this. This is very light, kind of, well, it's not light, it's high modernism, modernistic literary kind of fiction, but it's really a good read. And this is more history, 19th century history. And also I've really been enjoying Rick Bernstein's books. I was reading this yesterday afternoon and evenings, and I'm really enjoying reading this. So you read that, and then reading this biography on Robert Stone, really enjoying it, and reading his nonfiction by Robert Stone, and excuse me. Excuse me. Ruined by Reading. This is kind of light reading. So I just kind of read what's over here by the table. I grab it and I read it. And sometimes I just sit here meditating or contemplating or pondering what I've been reading. Or I listen to some music on my portable CD player. And yeah, so that's what I do. I just sit back and I reach over and I get a book and I just read and wait the day out. It's one thing about being retired. You know, I'm always repeating myself. I'm going on 68 years old, and so I'm not losing my job, and we have Social Security, and we have one more month left on our mortgage, and then it's paid off on our house. And the Lord is sovereign. We know that as Christians that He is the great shepherd of the sheep, and that we are under his shepherding care, and that God will take care of us. Not saying we might not have trials and sufferings and tragedies and dark times and bumpy roads, but the Lord will be there going before us. So I hope you're having a good reading week and that you're all doing well. I do watch the videos. I don't make a lot of comments, but I do. That's what I get up in the morning. That's what I do. I make a pot of coffee. I come over to the main computer, which is, the main computer is over here. It's like, this is the main computer. See, this is the main computer. And then you have the stereo and the CDs, you know, music. You know, the Christmas tree we haven't taken down from Christmas. And then you go through here. And this is where I sit when I read in the mornings for devotions. So I sit here. I'm trying to make this level. Oh. So, anyway, I'm not going to show that. Anyway, that's where I have devotions in the mornings. And so, yeah. This is it. I've shown you my main study. See, this is the main study. So, more CDs, things, CDs, books. See, I'm still reading that. And there's books here. And yeah, see. So this is it. This is where I sit and read to be read pile. So I hope you're having a good day. Hope you're all staying well, that you're strong. Wash your hands. Practice isolation. Don't get next to people who are sick. And I'll see you in the future, hopefully, well, next time. Bye.